Here we are, week 113, signifying changes coming forward, being 5 with that, the 3 and 2 ones making 5. So this morning when I went into meditation, calling upon my higher self for the messages for this week, what the light codes would be bringing forward for us this week, I saw Ashtar, and very quickly after that, I saw a tent in the desert, and the tent was open. And then I saw the Whirling Dervishes dancing around the tent, whirling around the tent. And the message came to me that it was very much about us raising our consciousness as whirling dervishes whirl themselves into a state of they are able to hold themselves in perfect balance while they access the higher consciousness. And it's not about achieving ecstasy, it's about achieving balance between the physical and the spiritual. So they are known as bridge makers, bridging between worlds. And we've had this come up quite a bit in different ways over the last year or so. And and they are they opened the door. They opened the door, and the tent was open. Now, the tent really is very much about a home, but it is a transitional, you know, it's not a permanent home. So I felt very much it was about finding that home within ourselves, because we must, you know, we're always in transition, we're always in change. And if we are at home within ourselves, we are still and stable and able to keep our balance as we go through the changes. So we don't have to always be uprooting, because we are always fully at home within ourselves. And any changes that do happen, any transitions that we do make, we make with ease and grace. And I wondered why, also, sorry, coming back to the dervishes, you know, they were holding swords, which I felt very much was about, you know, cutting the cords or the ties to the ego. Dervishes wear a hat that is a headpiece that is the symbolic of a tomb, or a, what do you call it, a grave, you know, headstone, which symbolizes the ego. And their purpose is to release the ego, and to become this bridge builder or between worlds. And so they open the door between worlds. And so the swords I felt were very much about cutting the ties to the ego and releasing that so that we could raise higher. I wondered why Ashtar? And then I felt very much it was like almost like the cosmic battle, because I've seen that dervishes sometimes are known to go into their whirling, and it is almost like you know, fighting the dark, and this cosmic battle taking place, which is taking place now, as we know. And excuse me, we are fighting the light and dark within ourselves. Not fighting it, but we are trying to rid ourselves of the darkness and become more win the light to win over. And so this is what's happening also externally. We can see that, everybody can see that, what's happening around us. But do you see that it's happening within yourself? Because usually we're the last ones to see it for ourselves. We recognize what's happening out there in front of us, all around us, in our environment, but we don't necessarily bring the ahas together to recognize that, okay, what we are recognizing out there is actually happening within ourselves. And so we must start that healing process within ourselves. And Ashtar is the leader, if you like, I don't know what's the right word, of the galactic law enforcement, to help protect us and to help us come into the light. So to, you know what I mean, to clear away the darkness. And that reminded me that we're more or less being reminded that we need to call upon our helpers in spirit of the galaxies to help us, because they can't interfere unless we ask. So we need to ask for their help to help us. to help us heal within ourselves, to help us, to heal humanity, to heal what's happening in the world, to bring us forward into the new world of light. So very powerful. I was very much immersed in a wave of emotion that came through from Ashtar. And I always feel this whenever Spirit or the Masters are around, this incredible unconditional love that just opens my heart, and the tears begin to roll. It's my sign that I've touched God, or I've touched the higher source, certainly touched the essence of pure divine love. So this was what came through with the visions today. And in short, it is about bringing balance to our physical and our spiritual. So balancing out that part of us so that we have more of an opportunity to be in full union with our higher self, at bringing our heaven on earth into being. And the first card that came forward today is card number 59, which also becomes a 5, because 5 and 9 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. So again, we can see that this is the changes coming forward for us. And the card says, count your blessings. And you can see in the card here, the man here is standing. Here we have the Christ consciousness, the dove, peace, Christ consciousness coming down through here. And we have the white tree, if you like. And this one it's not dark, but it's, again, I really feel that it is about standing in between the two worlds. This could be earth and this could be heaven, because this is more earthly and this is more heavenly, being white. The Christ consciousness is coming down over us, and we must stand still and hold the balance, which is the message that's coming through with the Whirling Dervishes, to find our balance. And so that's the first card. That's the intention of the whole reading. And the second card today for the sacral chakra is the 7 of air. This is more about the mind, more about what we're thinking. And it says plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and possibly poor timing. So more going on that meets the eye. There is certainly a lot going on out in the world today that we are not sure what it's all about, but there's certainly a lot going on more than meets the eye, and plans that need revision. So when we are in transition, when we are changing, we may have to make some changes to our original plans, make them a little bit different, same but different, same but different. So this is almost like a merry-go-round, being on the merry-go-round here. Sometimes we might feel like we are on the merry-go-round, but we can make a change, and the change just comes with a choice. The change comes with a choice. And the third card for the solar plexus card is the ship. Now today I feel that this card is representing our ability to stay above the emotions, because, plain sailing. In this particular deck, when you're looking at this card, it tends to mean overseas travel. But, here we're not looking at it as a particular deck. We are looking at it as the whole, with all the other cards coming together. So this really very much is about, having the wind in our sails, being able to keep ourselves balanced with our emotions, and staying above our emotions, seeing things from, keeping our thoughts clear, so that we can sail over those waters with ease. And the fourth card, the heart card today, again is number 5. So again, we see the change happening here, and it is win or lose. Win or lose. I want you to think about that. Win or lose. Is there such a thing as winning or losing? And here the sword of truth, pierced into the earth there, and it takes the form of the cross, and it is quite equal in size there. So with the heart in the middle here. So here we have the cross. This is like the bridging between the worlds. Heaven and earth, bringing the truth, piercing the truth into the earth, piercing the truth into our physical, staying in the stillness by always coming to the heart space, always remembering to come from the heart. Beautiful card there. Changes are taking place. We need to hold our stillness. We need to bring the truth down into the physical, we need to remember to stay in our heart space. And the next card, the card for the throat chakra, again is to do with balance. It's card number 2, the 2 of Pentacles. And we can see here a little bit like the Whirling Dervishes, one hand, the left hand up to the heavens and the right hand more down towards the earth, bringing balance between the two, the heaven and the earth, balancing out the energies, the spiritual energies and the physical energies. And there's a little bit of emotional stuff going on here, but this is about reminding us, you know, and this boat is riding it quite well, but we need to learn how to balance out, to be balanced on the physical, emotional, mental and spiritual bodies, to keep that beautiful balance ahead. He's wearing a very high hat there, possibly a little bit like a dervish, but I feel it's more, you know, showing how he's coming into a higher consciousness here. So keeping the balance between heaven and earth and our spiritual energies. And again, the next card is also about balance, and it is and about truth. And it is card number 8, as above, so below. As we know, we read the 8, as above, so below. Spiritual energies and heavenly energies coming together, coming into union. And here we have Mart, truth, radiance, and balance. Truth, radiance, and balance. So again, very interesting. This one's in the brow chakra. So the cards are all showing that this is about us finding balance on the spiritual and the physical. And the card in the seventh card is Amaterasu. Sounds like a cake. And she says, come out of the closet. So really this is about, you know, us taking that step, moving through the doorway, opening the door, come out of the closet, come out through the door. There is a new world awaiting for us. And we need to hold the balance there so that we can be able to do that in a very balanced way of mind, body, and spirit. And the chakra card that we're going to focus on this week, remind yourself, I bet none of you do it, but try to remember to focus on this particular chakra this week. This week it is the base chakra. So it's about being grounded, feeling secure, feeling safe, all of those things that we need to do to be grounded, to hold ourselves stable as we are attaining that balance between heaven and earth. Many people these days focus so much on the spiritual and they forget about the physical, which means that you become top heavy and therefore you actually have no balance and are unable to ground what needs to come through. So remembering to work on that physical and be grounded, and remember that everything starts with the base chakra. Actually, Jeanette just said that we had this for the last 3 weeks. No, we haven't. We were having the sacral chakra, and in amongst that we had, I think, the solar plexus. But this is the first time we've had the base chakra. So that's it for today. We will be doing now, we will be going in to do the light codes for bringing the balance of heaven and earth, bringing the balance for our anchoring our physical to the earth, to find that union. And I hope that you choose to receive these light codes, and you can receive them for 15 Australian dollars if you connect with me. Check the link below and I'll send them out to your email. So please, if this is the first time you've been here, please subscribe to my channel, and hope that and I'm here every Monday at this time, every Saturday on Facebook. You can 12 o'clock Egypt time, you can come in to receive the free healing, free light codes healing on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Luxor Light Healing. Thank you, and see you next week.